My ecom brand JuiceWorks did $7,208 in revenue in the month of April. We're going to be doing a breakdown today of what went well, what went bad, and what we're going to do in the future. And so this is just to give you guys insight on the, everything in building a brand. And, my goal is to be transparent as possible in the process and, help you guys out if you guys are trying to do the same thing. So let's kind of get into it. So, let's go over the numbers. So in April, we did $7,208. Pretty much all of that comes from Amazon, but compared to last month, this was a 24% decrease, which is really painful. And let's go into what exactly happened. So the number one reason where this all stemmed from is Amazon reviews. So we had an insane purge of Amazon reviews where we were at like 50 reviews. And look, now we're down 40% compared to March. We're down to 30 reviews. And so this seems to have been a thing that is happening to other supplement brands. And so Amazon's like review algorithms are super strict and weird. And it just sort of, we lost a lot of reviews. And when the reviews go down, the ratings go down and the conversion rate drops. And so we also had issues where we had low inventory. And so ads became more unprofitable because it required more people, more clicks to spend on to get the sale. And so that plus low inventory and our next, I'm going to go into it in a bit, but we basically ran very low on inventory and we didn't want to go out of stock because our next batch is having issues. And so with Amazon, going out of stock is really bad. And so we had to lower ad spend, and lower ad spend is less sales. So what's funny is that we did our record day in sales. I think we did like 21 or 22 sales on Amazon. And then we just got absolutely cooked from this review purge and we had to cut budgets and sales have gone down. This is our P&L board. So I'm going to quickly go over this really quickly. But basically what happened is as our reviews tanked, we cut budgets. And so what happened was that you would expect conversion rate to drop, and it did drop, but the issue is that most of our sales are from returning customers. Like on any given day, 40 to 50% of our revenue comes from returning customers, which sounds good in theory, but it means we're not acquiring new customers. And over time, if we let this continue, our listing is going to dwindle and we're going to lose momentum and sales are going to go to zero. So ironically, this was the month that we were profitable on Amazon, like an 8% net margin or something like that, but pretty awful. So as you can see, these are just sort of the numbers. I'm not going to go super heavy into it, but as you can see, basically organic sales accounted for like 40 to 50% of our revenue this month. You guys can sort of look at this. There's just so much shit to go over here. As you can see here, we did 8% in margin in the month of April. And, our subscriptions were up to 35, but that's slowed down a lot. We were at 50 reviews in March and now we're at 30. So we have to rebuild the listing. So that is, quickly on that. Okay, so now let's kind of go into the struggles that we've been facing. So number one is our bad inventory batch. So we had our manufacturer make a batch of mood juice and it tasted like shit. And I was like, we're not releasing this to people. I need to fix it. So I'm getting new samples this week, today or tomorrow, and we're going to be just fixing it. And so as a result, I have 1,500 units on pause that I need to get fixed. And I'm not getting this new inventory. And I only have like 100-ish units at Amazon right now. So, we're just going to sort of let it ride out. We'll try to be as profitable as possible on that by lowering ad spend. But other struggles. I'm honestly just not really working hard enough. I've just been very, just like stressed out, just having a lot of personal issues. And so that has led to me just like realistically, like at the end of the day, just kind of sitting home and just being like, I really haven't like pulled the best out of myself. April's just been pretty rough month for me, just mentally. Next is because after the review purge happened and we just started getting some 1-star reviews, I was actually debating on completely scrapping the product and finishing off the inventory and launching a new product. But dude, that shit takes so much effort and time, and it's something that I want to do down the line, launch new products, but I think I really need to stick it out with this product and figure it out. That was pretty rough. Like like the morale goes down in the team when shit like this happens, and it was just kind of rough. This already went over, and the next one is cash flow is tough, right? So we locked up all of our money in those raw ingredients, and now I can't convert that money back into cash, those ingredients into cash, because now the inventory tastes like shit. So we're running into cash flow issues. Six is that we actually ran Google ads in the month of April, and we got some sales, and we actually got subscription reorders because those people subscribed from Google ads. We only got 3 sales from Google ads, but Google ads was expensive. Like, we spent a good amount of money, and I understand Google ads is not supposed to be profitable, but like, we just couldn't eat the burn. So I had to, shut it down. Well, we hit a record day in sales. Returning customer revenue is getting us sales. And we have a lot of returning customers actually on Amazon. I would say on average 25% is returning customers. And we have customers that have bought like 7 times in like the last like 2 to 3 months, which is crazy. Like, they love the product. I just wish those people left reviews. We have so many returning customers that if they left reviews, our listing would be doing so much better. But it is what it is. So let's talk about going forward. What is going to change? What are some things that we're going to do? So number one, we're most likely going to be modifying our formula and dropping some of the other ingredients. So right now, the main reason why people even buy this product is because of the kava. We're essentially capturing Amazon demand, and people buy it because of the kava. But we have other ingredients in there that add cost to the product, add complexity to the product. And so we're considering just dropping them, and that's going to lower our cost of goods and make the supply chain easier. And ideally, it's going to make it taste a little bit better because there's less things you have to mask. But granted, the kava is the worst tasting thing, so I don't think it'll make a huge difference in taste. And B, this gives me focus, right? I personally have to be honest with myself in that I just try to do too many things at once. And so I think by like essentially simplifying this product to just kava, it's going to force me to really just figure out just marketing at a deeper level and just really understanding the kava market and just marketing like that one ingredient. Instead of trying to market everything, just fucking like focus. So that is most likely what we're going to be doing. Number 2 is we're most likely switching manufacturers. So currently, the way that my situation works with my manufacturer is that I will buy all of the ingredients from my vendors. So I work with about like 7 different vendors. I send the POs, I buy the flavoring, I buy the kava, I buy the packaging, I buy the stick packs. And the benefit is that I get extreme transparency and visibility over the supply chain. I understand the costs very, very well. But the issue is that the terms are bad. So even if I get net 30 terms, which means I get 30 days from the day that it ships. So if the flavor gets shipped May 1st, I have until May 30th to pay that invoice. The issue is that by the time I pick up inventory from my manufacturer, I basically paid for about 80% of the batch, right? I've basically paid for everything, and I don't get cash flow benefits from that. And so it makes sense in this business model to potentially have a higher cost of goods if it means you have more time to pay the inventory off, right? So instead of taking a loan, if your manufacturer can front the inventory, that is super beneficial. And so my current manufacturer just is very small, and it's made for like smaller, quick jobs. And he's great, but he's just not a good fit for us, I think, in terms of like being able to scale, have terms. Number 2, it also, the way that I'm doing it right now is increases my liability. I would rather offset the liability to the manufacturer. So in this case where our inventory went bad, my manufacturer is not going to refund me on the ingredients because I paid the vendors out of pocket. It's a separate transaction. And so if I can get something with my new manufacturer in writing where it's like, hey, if shit goes bad, we're not liable. And so if I get, for instance, net 30 terms, and let's say that an inventory batch goes bad, I still have the money in my bank account and I can negotiate with them harder. I have more leverage because I haven't given the money to be like, hey, you need to go fix this or else I'm not paying you. And I'm not saying to be a fucking asshole and not pay, but at the end of the day, we're all broke and we need to protect our cash in dollars, right? So you want the manufacturer to take on that liability with buying ingredients. And again, like obviously from an objective standpoint, the liability should be split, but you have to, look for your own self-interests. This new co-man though, he has a 3PL warehouse right next door, so he can potentially ship out orders once we get to scale, and he can R&D new flavors for free and new product lines completely, right? The only issue is that you don't own the formula. And so I'm going to make a series later on how to build products out, and I'm going to be talking about all the trade-offs, because there's not like a correct way to do things, if that makes sense. You have to understand your budget, your time constraints, what you care about, what you don't care about, and figure out what is the best strategy for you to get to market. So I should make a video on that because I don't think anybody on YouTube talks about that kind of stuff. This is a huge benefit for product development. The only issue is that since they're kind of big, they kind of respond slow, and like I've been trying to get a quote on how much mood juice would cost to make with these guys, and these guys take forever. So Yeah. So number 3 is that May will be worse in sales than April because we've just been in April, halfway through is when we lost our reviews. But we are going to recalibrate, and I'm going to have to figure out direct response marketing and push for subscriptions. And I have a bunch of friends. I have like 2 or 3 friends in particular that have been just killing it in direct response with supplements. And I'm really just trying to learn from them and just kind of like, just get, understand the game. Like I'm starting to see some subscription orders come through, and it's just like, I need to feel like I'm doing something, because right now I feel like I'm not doing anything. And so essentially the plan right now is that since I'm going to be simplifying this to Kava, and when I market this, I'm going to be marketing towards essentially like 2 audiences. So one is going to be the problem aware audience. So these are people that want the social unwinding, relaxing, the benefits of alcohol without the drawbacks of alcohol, right? The hangover, the poison, etc. And so this audience is a huge audience, right? The sober curious people. And I think I haven't marketed these people because I didn't want to set the wrong expectations for our product, but a lot of my competitors are doing it, and I think I just need to sort of crack that market. 2 is that people that know about Kava already. So this is a solution aware audience. These people are warmer, there's less of them, but they should be a little bit easier to convert. And so there aren't too many other Kava brands out there, especially that are doing direct response properly. So I'm going to be finding those people, and then I'm going to be also looking at microdose THC brands. So you have companies like Feels, right? You have companies like Drink Breeze. And so these guys, even though it's a different product, it is weed basically. They're selling weed. The desire and benefit is the same, because a way that Drink Breeze is marketed is that it's a non-alcoholic way to relax. And so Kava is the same exact thing. It's just a different ingredient. And so looking at these guys for marketing inspiration is, I think, going to be huge. And look, these guys are fucking making a lot of money. Like, why can't I make a lot of money, right? I think I've just been stuck with like these limiting beliefs on my own capabilities. And I think I just need to sort of, ignore that and just really like, figure shit out. Anyways, yeah, look, I know that these aren't like super insane numbers or anything like that. But yeah, this is the honest truth. This is coming from someone that doesn't really know what they're doing. I would say my skill set is more on the building, the supply chain and stuff like that. But like marketing is my weaker skill set. Like I'm not as good at it. I think I understand the principles of direct response marketing to like an okay degree, but I just feel like I haven't really been able to implement, execute properly, and just have like that sort of confidence. I think the confidence is something that I'm really lacking. And so, yeah, we're not doing 100K a month yet, but I'm hoping, in the next like 6 months that this is something that I could really potentially just scale really well and, build more cool products and just sort of build myself up in terms of my skill set. So yeah, that is sort of the breakdown of my brand in April. I'm going to be doing one in May. May is going to be lower in revenue most likely. But yeah, this is just the honest truth of building a brand. It's really, really difficult, especially when you don't know the right people. And so yeah, just the honest truth. If you guys have any questions on this, I know this was a pretty long video. Please, drop a comment below. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Please subscribe, and I will see you on the next.